I like card games. From the days of playing Wizard 101 to games like Slay the Spire, which is just the ass fuck of fun that I can never seem to put down. I mean, I like them so much that I've even amassed an insanely large collection of them. I mean, just fucking look at this shit. I mean, kinda. Look, it's a good game, okay? I'm more infatuated with the whole behind the scenes of card games, the forbidden source code, the whole modularity of the systems they use, the simplicity of it, as well as its complexities, and how far such a simple concept can take a game, and how much money you can make. And I've always had this fragment inside of me, wishing and wanting to create a card game, but every time I think about scriptable objects, I just say, fuck that. I mean, how would the systems even work? Like, I don't even know where to begin. And I can't draw, or make art of any kind, nor sound, or music for the damn thing. So, today, I make Game Card, a game of cards about cards doing card stuff. A learning experience, if you will. I'm definitely not going to just rip off Slay the Spire or anything. So here's my 5-step plan on how to make Slay the Spire. Step 1, card. Step 2, art. Step 3, attacks, I guess. Like, you know, like pew, pew. Step 4, like you suck. Okay, so where do I begin exactly? I mean, I guess I can start with the concept. I want something gritty, dark, and Nike just fucked up. I want to like bleed fucking shit on ass. So I made a story. Fire. A sad and depressed little shit a sad and depressed person. The idea I came up with is to use colors and emotion as like the strongest and most important part of the game, both visually and mechanic wise. Like the pain you endure, aka an emotion, don't ask, the more damage you deal type thing. And like the more fear you have, the more defense you get. In this case, assume pain is a fucking emotion, because fuck you, that's why. You guys ever heard of Amori? Well, I'm stealing that shit too. I mean, kinda. It wasn't really my intention, but the idea more or less probably originated from that. Emotions and their effects on both the story and gameplay. What if playing a defensive deck with fear cards causes your character to become more of a little bitch in the story, more defensive and close off and fearful, while on the other hand, playing something aggressive makes the character unbearably annoying and aggressive? It's up to you as the player to build your deck of cards based on the emotions behind the cards and their relative effects, rather than choose what does the most damage. Unless you don't care where that leads the story, which will also be a route in and of itself. I've been looking at ways to tie in the whole emotion idea with the gameplay mechanics, and fuck is it hard to be creative. I'm running out of shit to steal here. I mean, like, for fuck's sake. For starters, I made 5 emotions, or slash stats. Pain, fear, guilt, hope, and love. Honestly, I probably could have just used like the 7 nearly fucking sins, but man, fuck that basic ass shit, okay? I'm unique, okay? Special. Built different, if you will. The idea of the game will be centered around the dream realm in which the game takes place, where Vire, our MC, don't forget, has lost her memories and with them her emotions. Across the game, you'll wander this dreamscape encountering memories as personifications as monsters or enemies, if you will. Like, imagine a bystander in your current life, or a friend's life, in case you're alone or some shit, fucking weirdo. And as you go through life, being beaten the shit out of, there lies this person who does fuck all but watch. They don't actually do anything bad in and of itself, but they never did shit to help you either, just watching as you suffer and stumble. So herein lies our first enemy, the Watcher. Okay, so we have an enemy, and we have an MC, so let's build the fucking game, I guess? Okay, so before we begin, I need to make it clear, I suck at coding, kinda. I could technically code, it's kinda like what I got my degree for, but I'm shit. Like, dookie bad. As for everything else, that part is totally true. The art, the music, the confidence, fully absent. So we'll make do, somehow. Okay, so for starters, we gotta actually just make the actual system for using cards, like dragging and having them in your inventory, which should be pretty easy considering I've made draggable stuff before. I mean, as a matter of fact, I got this cool app where I can save all my code and I can retrieve it whenever I want. Let me just go fetch it real quick. That's what I'm talking about. I'm so never gonna get a job. Please give me money. So, how does it work? You drag a card, it points at stuff. If you drop it high enough and have enough energy, it plays. If not, it politely fucks off back to your hand like a rejected Tinder match. Combine it with a little splash of color and we get a finished product. So, after making some basic cards and giving them color, we got this. Now, here's the actually tricky bit. Cards need effects, like they need to do shit, attack, defend, traumatize. So I spent an abhorrent amount of time figuring out how to make each card be able to execute their own modular effects, with the help of a little GPT I keep in my breast pocket. So now I can just slap on any new effect I make onto the card and it will execute it. Hopefully. Attack effect, pow! Echo effect, trauma. Plus, to keep the emotion theme, playing cards now adds emotion values to Vire in a very neatly and organized inspector menu. So now every card also makes Vire feel something, and it's because you did it, you sick fuck, hurting this poor, fragile human being. Now, I do in fact dislike squares, so I think it's essential I spend the next 72 hours drawing some characters, though you kind of are already seen them. Anyway, mind you, I really suck at making phases, so I came up with a genius move that fits it perfectly, narratively. I've tried making phases before, it's just impossible. I'm just telling you, I can't, man, I can't. Now she's just a hidden face character who's mysterious and very swag. Like the thing in the silent voice where the faces are hidden. It's an artistic move, not because I'm inadequate. Stuff. Now the game looks, well, shit, but we have a main character. Well, we can't just leave the launcher watching. Now we have a main character and their enemy. Okay, well, despite the amount of insane mechanics currently implemented, it still doesn't really feel like a game. I don't actually know how to fix that, other than by adding more art stuff, so I may have added a couple things. You already know, with the help of Unity's particle system, I've created cool bubbles and stuff to add a little to the atmosphere. I call these cope particles, as well as maybe a very swag mask and echo tracker. Keep these in mind, these will be important for later, okay? Okay. We got some cool borders on the top and bottom and a very swaggy background indeed. A little dash of health UI for both the player and enemy, and now we have something that kinda resembles a game? Fucking nice. Now remember the mask and echo thing I mentioned? Me neither. But they are very important, okay? The idea I have centered around Vire is that she likes to put up a mask and hide her feelings, or rather pretend to be someone she's really not, which you, as the player, will be doing. You play certain emotion cards, raising up her mask bar, however that shit has a peak, and if you pass it, then fracture. In the state of fracture, you gain echo cards, basically trauma cards in the palm of your hands. Imagine like curses from Slay the Spire. Remember? We were stealing that? That's quite literally not a joke, and it's not over yet. Like curses, you gain debuffs / buffs, depending how I'm feeling that day, really, as well as fractured emotions. Your emotion gain gets like doubled or tripled. I don't really remember what I put down. Either way, you're more sensitive. Your block becomes disabled, and the rest I haven't really thought of yet, like double damage or something, but I mean, the idea is there. Normal gameplay-wise, depending how you build your deck of cards, you might opt for a fracture-style gameplay where increased effects and or damage bonuses help you dish out damage, like glass cannon type of route. Otherwise, you really have to keep that shit on lockdown. One thing I've been really struggling with is getting the point across that cards have ties to emotions, and their subsequent effects are real, like impact-wise. One simple idea I thought of was to use stains on screen, the most prominent color being that of the most used emotion, using a simple algorithm. Now, I think the idea behind it is solid, but the effect comes off rather cheap and non-impactful. I think using more stylized art would help towards that endeavor, but I'm still amidst learning how to draw a straight line, so we'll just save that for later. One major addition would be impactful attacks and or spell effects that scale in size and strength with emotions, which I plan to add at some point. Now, the game, if you can even call it that yet, is pretty bare bones. I can at least say some backend systems are in place, while others are in the works. But I'm pretty lost on where to keep pushing or pulling to make it feel more solid, and I don't think it's smart to move away from this section of the game before I actually feel confident with it. So, while I think of how the fuck to do that, that's really it. That's all I got so far. To be fully honest, I don't know how far I even plan on taking this project, or if I'm even ever gonna finish it, or make it playable. I just like fucking around in Unity, and this was a project I had started and got lost on where to go on. But that's about everything I have so far. So next video will probably be about I don't know, let's say 6 months when I get like 5% more progress done. This video in and of itself took a while to make, mostly because of procrastination, but we don't talk about such horrid things here. Either way, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video even a teeny tiny bit, and peace.